Hey everyone, so this is Catfish Season 6, Episode 5, called Marvin and Austin. And boy, let me tell you, I haven't felt like I wanted to strangle one of these catfishes in a long time. A long time. Oh my god, I wanted to, I haven't felt like this in a while. The first couple episodes, we were just coming back, feeling things and stuff, and feeling things out and stuff, and it's just anyway. I don't think I've felt like wanting to strangle one of these catfishes since they got back from break in last season, season 5, because they took that break, and when they got back, it was that dude who was sociopathy, it's just really creepy and shit, and just anyway. So haven't really wanted to strangle one of these catfishes since then, so it's been a minute. Anyway, so let's get to this episode. Well, before I actually get into the episode, I want to say that Max brings in Chntal to fill in for Neve, and as I thought, the reason why was because Max, at the time this was shooting or filming, Max was on paternity leave because Cleo was just born, so I figured that was why. But anyway, so he brings in Max brings in his one of his close friends named Chntal, who is a musician. So when she comes in, they get into the person who wrote in, whose name is Marvin. He's a 22-year-old man who lives in Joplin now, but originally from St. Louis, Missouri. And he once he got to Joplin, he got onto this site or app named Grindr. I think I've heard it once in passing, possibly, most likely on this show. I just don't remember for sure if they've said the app's name before, but from what Max says after reading the email, he's isn't Grindr this hookup site? So he seems confused by why Marvin would want to find love on a site that's basically just for hooking up and stuff. But anyway, so going back to the email real quick, Marvin said all the guys he met only wanted sex. Not that surprising if that's basically what it's used for. And he met this guy named Austin on there, who said he was a supermodel. Definitely a red flag. And whenever he would try to meet up with Austin would be conveniently busy. So after they read the email, they call Marvin on Skype. And Max, they talked to him about, they asked him to go over everything really quickly about what he said in the email. And Marvin's well, it started out, me being on Grindr at first started out being a hookup situation for a little while, and then it turned into wanting more than just that. So Max then asks, well, isn't Grindr, or doesn't Grindr have this what do you call it? this feature on it that geotags where people are, and apparently does, and it showed Austin as being 2 miles away. So that's definitely something that's fishy. If he's 2 miles away, well, it said 2.1 miles, but I'm just gonna say 2 miles. If he's literally not that far away, you'd think that he would be able to meet up with Marvin, but nope. So they get off the Skype call, go to Joplin, and then go to Marvin's house. We find out that Marvin moved to Joplin in July, and started talking to Austin in August. So they then look at texts that Marvin and Austin have been sending to each other, and it got pretty sexual. And right off the bat, basically, really sexual. But then it apparently turned into like a relationship and all that. So, and apparently, when Marvin moved to Joplin, like just when Marvin moved to Joplin, that's when Austin moved to Joplin. Apparently, literally the exact same time. They both moved to Joplin at the same time. And apparently, one day, when Marvin and Austin were talking on the phone, Austin had to go to the bathroom, so he gave the phone to his sister, apparently. And when Austin came back from the bathroom, literally right after he got back from the bathroom, he asked for a dick pic. So, sorry, yeah, that's basically what happened. So, anyway. Apparently that's what happened. Like, right when and the sister was literally right there. Next, like, still there when Austin asked for this picture. Anyway, so Chntal and Max leave to go investigate. So they first look at Austin's Facebook profile, and then notice that literally right off the bat that nobody's tagged in his photos. There's this one post where he posted a picture, and what he wrote with the picture was that I'm thinking about getting my hair cut. What do y'all think about it? Something along those lines. And somebody named Woody wrote under saying, "Oh, I'll do it," or whatever, something along the lines of like or come over to my salon and I'll do it for you, or something like that. So they messaged Woody on Facebook. They then decided to reverse image search Austin's pictures and come up with a hit to an Instagram page for a guy named Miles Sexton who lives in Toronto, Canada. They then see that there's a Facebook link to Miles's Facebook page on his Instagram. So they click on the link, they get to the Facebook page for Miles, check it out, and sees that Miles is in a relationship. But they didn't show who the first name of the person who was supposedly in a relationship with first time, but later on when they're telling this all to Marvin, they show the first name and it's Percy. I don't know. Anyway, so they then send Miles a message on there, and once they do, they almost immediately get a message back from Woody saying his friend hangs out with Austin. They visit Woody at the salon he works at, which is close by, obviously. They then ask Woody to come outside and talk a little bit. He does. They find out that Woody's friend Kurt has possibly seen Austin at a party. Max then calls the number that Woody gives them for Kurt. Kurt says Austin is his boyfriend or something like that. I think he said something like that Austin is his boyfriend and Austin lives in Joplin or whatever. And he's seen Austin. So on the way to give Marvin this information that they just uncovered, all this information they uncovered, they like both Chntal and Max both realize that Kurt is lying, because the real person in the picture is Austin. The person in the pictures that is behind the name Austin is actually named Miles. They know that Miles lives in friggin' Toronto, Canada. I mean, unless he literally just moved to Joplin like a day ago or something, and just hadn't updated his profile or whatever, then there's no way that he would be in Joplin at the moment. There's no way. There's no way that Miles is actually the person that Marvin's talking to, and just uses the name Austin for no reason. I mean, unless Austin is his middle name, which they didn't, like, clearly, by the end of the episode, we know that that's not what's going on. So, anyway, and they realize that Kurt is involved somehow. They like, I'm with them on that one. I was with them on that, because there's no way that Kurt just, no. I mean, unless he's being duped himself, which seems very unlikely, because it's very unlikely, because he's claiming that he's seen Austin in person, which not really feasible, because Miles lives in Canada, literally in Canada, which is like a few, depending on, I mean, even if we didn't know that he lives in Toronto, depending on where he actually lived, it was either 3 or 4 states away. Like, Canada is 3 or 4 states away. I mean, I think Toronto is on the eastern part of Canada. I can't remember exactly where. I think it's like Quebec or something. Or, I don't know. I don't remember. But I need to brush up on my geography. I need to brush up on my geography. But I'm pretty sure Toronto is on the eastern half of Canada. That much I'm pretty sure I know. Could be wrong, but I'm just saying. Anyway, so go to Marvin's, tell him the information, and they all decide that it's time to call Austin. So Max goes outside, tries to call Austin, but the phone, apparently the phone number that is associated with Austin doesn't really accept voicemails or calls or some shit like that. So Max texts the number after that, and the next thing you know, Max is getting a FaceTime call from somebody. We don't know who yet, but he gets a FaceTime call from somebody, goes inside so that this person could talk to Marvin, and we come to find out it's actually Miles who's FaceTiming, and he reveals that he does actually live in Toronto, and he has never been to Missouri. So Chntal and Max leave. Once the phone call ends, Chntal and Max leave for the night after not getting a response from Austin. And on the way back to the hotel, they get a call from a guy named Isaiah, who's Kurt's boyfriend. He says he found out that they talked with Kurt early in the day about Austin and wants to talk with them because he's fed up with all the drama that's surrounding this person, supposed person. So the next day, they call Marvin, tell him that this guy named Isaiah called them, and they all decide to go to Isaiah's house. And he comes out, says he's Kurt's boyfriend, like he said the night before. And Isaiah says Austin isn't real. You pretty much all knew that by this point. Isaiah says that Kurt is behind it all, basically, which is something that we all knew, basically. Like, or at least Max and Chntal knew that Kurt was behind it all, or they at least was partly behind it, not behind it completely, but anyway, so Isaiah says that Kurt knows that Chntal and Max are here. So he went to a friend's house, And Kurt knows that sooner or later they're gonna come looking for him or come meet him somewhere or something, like come after him or whatever. So Isaiah texts them the address of Kurt's friend. Max realizes they're in walking distance away from Isaiah's house, and they go there. Jason opens up the door and gets Kurt. When both he and Kurt come outside, there's this girl that comes out with them. Find out her name is Kylie. And basically Kurt, Jason, and Kylie are all behind the profile. And the whole profile was meant to bust cheaters. It's basically why they did it. But the kicker is they've been talking to they've been talking to 10 to 15 people apparently, according to them. According to them, they've been talking to 10 to 15 people to bust them as cheaters. And the kicker part of that is that they only busted one person. Literally only one fucking person. Literally busted only one fucking person. The entire time that they've been doing this. Only one person. So, really? Like, what? Was it really worth it? Like, was it really that worth it? So, basically, Jason and Kurt, it didn't seem so much it was Kylie who was saying this, but it seemed mainly Jason, I keep wanting to call him Justin. I don't know why. But anyway, so Jason is the main person who's behind saying, well, why would you think it was real, Marvin? Like, why did you think it was real? And Kurt kind of, backs him up on it, but it seems Jason is the one who keeps saying, who's the more forceful one behind asking Marvin why he thought everything that was going on was real. But Marvin and Max bring up the point, like, why wouldn't he think it was real? I mean, pretty much 99% of people are gonna believe that what they are told is true. I mean, until they have proof otherwise, they're gonna assume that what they're told is true. I mean, any normal human being, okay, I don't want to say normal, I'll retract that. Any person, regardless, is going to assume that what they're being told is true. They're going to assume it's to be true. It's going to be true. It's just, I believe it's just human nature that people are just going to assume that what they're told right off the bat is true. So, and until they're given a reason not to believe it, they're going to assume it's true. But then Jason's like, well, why do you think that someone who looks like Miles lives in Joplin? I'm like, shut up. This is why I wanted to fucking strangle their ass. Like, mainly Jason. And Kurt too, but mainly Jason. Like, this is why I wanted to strangle him. I'm like, I mean, you're literally falsely representing yourself to Marvin. Why would he not believe it? I mean, he's not lying to you about anything. He hasn't lied to you about his what he looks like, what his name is, how old he is, anything. I mean, he's not lying about anything. So why would he not assume what you're saying is like? And I'm just like, you're victim blaming. You're fucking victim blaming. And he tries to backpedal and say, no, he's not. It's just it's the truth or whatever. I'm like, no, you're fucking victim blaming. I mean, shut up. Like, shut up. So they decide to leave for the day because clearly they're not. Max and Chntal and Marvin are not gonna get anywhere. So the next day, Max calls Kurt to meet 3 of them. They get Marvin and go back to Jason's house. Once there, Kylie says she knows what it's like to be lied to, because apparently a lot of her past boyfriends have pretended to be in a relationship with her to cover up the fact that they were gay. Which I understand is frustrating. That I can understand is frustrating. That whole bit about pretending to be with me just because you don't want people to know that you're gay, I understand that any reasonable person would be upset about that. Especially if it got to happening. Any reasonable person would be upset. But you can't just then turn around and then lie to people and think that's okay. Especially if you know what it's like to be lied to. Especially that. You can't, no. I'm gonna need these people to miss me with that fucking mess. I didn't believe her. Like, I didn't fucking believe her. I mean, no. I can believe that maybe it happened like once or twice, but if it kept happening and she knew what it was like to be lied to, there'd be no way she'd keep it up and keep it up for 3 months, because the part of the whole reasoning was the reason why they kept it going for so long was because they eventually wanted to tell him that the profile was fake. Like, you could have done that. You didn't have to meet him in person to do that. You could have just said, "Oh, this profile is fake." You didn't have to meet him in person. Like, because their end goal was to meet him in person to tell him that his profile was fake. You didn't have to tell him the profile was fake in person. You could have fucking video chatted and done it that way. You didn't have to fucking meet him in person. So, no. They're trying to fucking justify themselves and shit. Like, no, they're trying to fucking justify themselves. And it's not fucking working. It's not working. I don't believe them. I don't. I do not believe them. Okay, so they keep talking for a little bit, and so after all that, Max asks for them to leave a message that says the page is fake. But I'm just sitting here thinking, like, that doesn't guarantee that they won't make another page after the cameras leave. They could very well just be like, because the only person who got up to actually write the message that the fake page was fake was Kylie. Jason and Kurt didn't move a fucking inch. They didn't move a damn inch. Jason was sitting there in a certain position the entire time and didn't say a fucking word. It didn't seem like he said a fucking word. So, I mean, it seems because Kylie, made the effort to get up and actually write the message on the Austin page that the page was fake. She seems to. It seems because she did that herself, she wouldn't then turn around and make another page, a fake page to catch cheaters. Jason, since he wants to victim blame and shit, and he wants to, sit there and pose the entire time the next day without moving an inch, not even saying like 2 words, basically. He's like, no, I don't think that he and Kurt are done catfishing people. I don't think so. Kylie, I'll try to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'll try to. But I don't think that at least Jason and Kurt stopped catfishing. I don't think so. I don't think so. So basically, 2 months later, Marvin is doing better. He isn't dating anyone apparently, which I think is fine. Which I think is good. I think he needs to just keep himself. He needs to keep himself away from people for a little bit and just focus on himself. And if he's in school, focus on school. Because I don't think they said whether or not he was in school, but I don't want to assume if he's in school or not. But if he's in school, I would like him to focus on school and himself for just a second. And then Jason, Kurt, and Kylie say they stopped with the profile I'm more, like I said, I'm more so inclined to believe Kylie stopped, but I don't think Jason and Kurt stopped. Mostly Jason, though. I think Kurt is Jason's lapdog. I think he's his lapdog, because it seemed, because early in the episode when Kurt was like, well, why do you think, why would you think that this person is real, Marvin? Like, when he was doing all that, Kurt was like, pretty much backing him up and being his fucking lapdog and saying everything after Jason said it. And it's just like, very lapdogish. So, I think Kurt is Jason's lapdog, personally. And I think whatever Jason does, Kurt's right there behind him, and he will back him up, because Jason's the ringleader of everybody. So, that's just me. That's really just me, because, anyway, so, next week on Catfish, looks like Neve is still out for a little bit. I think he's still going to be out for paternity leave for a couple more episodes, like, maybe 2 to 3 more episodes. And it looks like Io is filling in for Neve next week. And the person who wrote into Catfish has had her picture stolen and being used for catfishing purposes. And it sounds, based off the promo, that it's someone that she knows, that she's grown up with. Definitely sounds like it's someone that she knows. I've been saying for the last few episodes that it's someone that the person who wrote into Catfish knows, and I've been completely wrong. But it definitely sounds like next week it's someone that she knows. But we will have to see. So, that is basically all I have for this week's episode. I will see you guys Monday for I might put up Rosewood earlier than usual. I might put it up earlier than usual. But there's something on Saturday that I'm planning on doing. I am thinking about doing, so I don't know. So I might put it back up on Monday. But if I don't put Rosewood up on Saturday, then definitely it will be up on Monday. That's for sure. Possibly even earlier Sunday. Who knows? But that is all I have for this week for Catfish. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.